This Pottycast will hopefully contain words or statements of obscene, pornographic, or immoral character. You have been warned. You have been warned.
We received dozens of emails from people that will listen to the podcast. The podcast.
Wow,
the
well,
podcast.
it is pretty much. All right, you ready?
Yeah, I would never use. That is awesome.
I've been wanting to use my kazoo lately.
Did a little Piltdown Men tribute.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Oh shit. So 96, motherfucker.
Sweet. Getting up
And
there.
I got nothing for you. I got nothing.
I have a couple things I want to talk about because it's stuff from a while back, like before the shows happened and we were practicing a lot and we weren't pottycasting as much.
Right.
But something really cool happened to me today that I thought was worthy to share on here. We had space wax practice today, and so I'm walking down the street, got my gig bag on my back, carrying my boxes of pedals and cables and shit. And I see this couple walking up the street towards me. And I've never seen these people before. And we have a pretty general idea of the people in the neighborhood around our main street, like who's out walking their dogs. And like, you know, we just see familiar faces a lot. But I see these people. I've never seen these people before. The guy kind of has like longer hair and has a baseball hat on. And he has like this crazy, like long sleeve, like tie-dyed Grateful Dead shirt on. And I was like, whoa, that's fucking weird. Like I've never seen a Grateful Dead shirt in my neighborhood before. I think I mentioned on here a few times that there's just like a lot, like I think we're the youngest people in our neighborhood. It's a lot of older people. So anyway, I see this dude and he looks to be, I don't know, 60-ish or something, maybe early 60s. And he's with his wife and we kind of are like walking and eventually like they meet to me like where I'm going to get into my car. And he goes, "You headed to band practice?" And I just kind of laughed and I was like, yeah. I said, that's actually exactly where I'm going. And he's like, oh, right on, dude. He's like, well, he's like, what's on your back right there? And I was like, oh, that's my bass. And he's like, do you just play bass? And I was like, no, I play guitar too. And I said, I used to play drums, but I don't really play drums much anymore. He's like, and he like his mind was like blown. He was like, really? He's like, you played guitar and drums and bass? I'm like, yeah. I was like, I'm a little better at some than others, I would say, but yeah, I can fumble around on all three of those instruments. And he's like, dude, I'm a drummer. And I was like, oh, that's cool, right on. And so anyway, he was just like, he's like, where do you live? And I kind of told him where our house was, and he's like, I don't know, he's like, he almost like didn't even know what to say. He was like, well, that's crazy. And he's like, I live like right down the street here. And he's like, I've like never seen you before ever. I'm like, yeah. I was like, I've never seen you either. And because they had a dog, they were walking their dog. And he's like, well, like, what do you do? He's like, are you in a band? Like, what's your deal? So I was kind of just like, I was like, didn't really have time to talk because I had to leave for practice and stuff. I was already kind of like a little bit behind. And I was like, well, I play in this band that we're jamming today, and I do other stuff too. And he's like, dude, he was like, we should jam sometime. And I'm like, yeah. I was like, I'm totally down to jam. I was like, that's cool. I was like, what kind of music are you into? He's like, well, I used to be in this like funk band. He's like, but we don't really play anymore. He's like, but we played all the time. Like I forget what their name was, but I don't know, the way he talked, they like played a lot of shows. Like that was kind of maybe like a part-time job for him kind of thing or something.
Right.
And I was like, well, I don't play funk. I was like, I like funk. I was like, but I definitely am not a funk player like at all. I was like, I appreciate it, but I can't really get down with playing it. And he's like, oh, well, what kind of music are you into? And I was like, I like all music. I said, but what I play mostly like punk and kind of heavy metal, hard rock sort of genres. And he was like, are you fucking serious? I'm like, yeah. He's like, dude. And even his wife, she started laughing. She's like, oh my God, here we go.
Oh my God, that's so awesome.
He's like, dude, how have I never met you yet? He's like, how long have you lived in this neighborhood? I was like, I don't know, probably getting close to like 10 years almost. He's like, oh my God. He's like, this is insane. And he's like, dude, I'm like an old punk rock guy from like New York. And I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, dude. He was like, I grew up in Connecticut and my band used to like go up to New York all the time to play shows in like the 70s and early 80s and stuff. And I was like, what? I was like, that's crazy. And he's like, yeah, he's like, we opened for the Ramones in like 1975. And he's like, dude, he's like, I love punk rock and like metal and stuff. He's like, I've just never really been able to play it because I've been playing in this funk band. And he's like, dude, we got to jam. And he like still really had kind of like a East Coast, New York kind of thing going on with his voice and everything. So it was really funny. And
yeah,
I was like, well, my wife and I are from Maryland originally. He's like, no fucking way. He's like, fucking East Coasters. That's fucking awesome. And so anyway, he's like, dude, he's like, we have to jam. He's like, I'm not kidding. He's like, we have to jam. And I was like, yeah. I was like, let's totally jam. So he gave me his number. He's like, what are you doing Sunday? I'm like, well, I can't jam Sunday, but let's definitely set something up. But it was just really funny. Like, cause I'm always saying that like, I know that there has to be people in my neighborhood who play music. I just have never met any of them yet, or like know about anybody that plays. And, not that I've really done a lot of research to find out or anything, but, I don't know, like our landlord, she knows a lot of people in the neighborhood, and I always kind of figured if she knew anybody who played, she would have brought it up.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, that was like really cool because I was always like, man, it'd be cool to meet someone in the neighborhood who jams. I could just literally like walk down the street and like play with somebody just for fun. Fuck or whatever.
Yeah, dude. That's phenomenal.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, I got his number. And he's like, dude, please call me. He's like, I really want to jam. And he was like, and I know everybody in the neighborhood who plays music. He's like, so I'm going to get you like in the circle of like, you got to like get in with our like jam sessions and stuff.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah. So that was really fucking cool. That was like the last thing I sort of expected to happen today. And it's just crazy that like this dude lives like a block away and I walk by his house like all the time, and yeah, just never met him. And it was just such a freak timing of when I was going out to my car and he just happened to be walking by and struck up a conversation. So
just by chance you had your shit.
Yeah.
That is fucking amazing.
Yeah. So I'm pretty hyped actually. Like I haven't really jammed with any strangers in a while. So, and I pretty much laid it out for him on my skill level. I was like, I'm going to let you know, like I'm a self-taught player. I'm like, I can't read music. So like if we get together and you guys are like real technically advanced and stuff, like I can probably hang, but like there's going to be certain limitations that I'm going to have if you guys are like used to following sheet music and doing shit like that. He's like, nah, dude, it's fine. He's like, that's fucking awesome. He's like, yeah, let's just fucking jam. Like, I don't care. I'm like, all right, cool. Let's fucking do it.
Dude, it sounds like my fucking neighbor in Baltimore. He could give 3 fucks that I was horrible at everything. And he was just like, I just want to jam. He's like, he just did not give a shit. And it was awesome. I mean, it was fun.
Well, you did end up jamming with him though?
Oh yeah, it was a blast.
Oh, cool.
Like he was the guy who helped out with the Electric Frankenstein show with us. Like his roommate was the sound guy. They brought the whole PA and everything.
Oh, cool.
Like he's like, yeah, dude, we got all that shit. I'm like, yeah, and didn't have to rent it. Yeah, Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, well,
So
even
I'm stoked for you.
Yeah, it's cool. And that dude, he's like, I have a fucking studio in my house. He was like, I have like a giant mixing board and like I have like a whole room set up. He's like, you just show up with your instrument and we'll fucking jam. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn. I was like, all right, dude. I was like, let's fucking do it. But I don't know. It's just kind of funny. Like I said, I'm often curious about jamming with some other people, but I don't know. It's just having the motivation to kind of like hunt people down and try to figure that out. It's just like I've got so much other shit going on. It's just not really a priority, but just how that kind of happened today. I was like, oh, that was perfect. Like I'm like meant to jam with that guy for some reason.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And the fact he's a fucking drummer, like how fucking hard is it to find fucking people to play drums?
Dude. Ugh.
So that's just cool. Even if, you know, like whatever he can do on, I mean, obviously he must be fucking good if you play in a funk band.
Yeah, no shit.
So yeah, I guess we'll see kind of like, I'll report back whenever that goes down. The other thing I wanted to bring up, and it's not something we really have to talk a bunch about, but I was just blown away by this. And we've talked a lot about tribute bands on here before, or bands. You know, like I know we had like the Journey discussion where they have like the new guy singing for them and all that.
Right.
And, but this was back in probably like July, I think. But I went with a buddy of mine to see this band. They're called Death to All. And it's all the like 90s era members of the band Death.
Right.
So it's like the drummer, the bass player, the lead guitar player, and so it's all of those guys, but they got this other dude to sing in place of Chuck, who passed away.
That's a really good documentary.
Oh, did you watch that?
Holy shit. Yeah, and I wasn't into them. But like I'm a sucker for a music documentary, and that one's really fucking good.
Yeah, that is a really good one. I forget what it's called, but highly recommend that if you haven't seen it, people listening haven't seen it. It's really good, like dive into his just approach to how they wrote everything and like switching out members just to not as like having a beef, but just he knew certain dudes would give him a certain result for like the tunes he had at the time or whatever.
I thought it was amazing. I think it sucked that he felt like he was backed into a corner because because the band's name was Death.
Yeah.
It led to a fucking certain thing that he had to do. And, you know, at the end, that's not what he was into.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And he was kind of limited by the band name, which kind of blew me away.
Yeah. I mean, like, honestly, I totally get where he's coming from as a artist and a creator where you don't want to be like always pigeonholed, but literally starting out so early and you are actually able to use the name Death as your band. That's like the ultimate,
True.
like you won the heavy metal lottery of like .coms. like, like that's like the .com everyone would want if you were like a band starting out. You're just Death. Like,
Yeah, dude. We were laughing at dinner tonight because we were going through, and I've been like jonesing because we're watching, like I talked about last week or 2 weeks ago, is watching a band's play, and it was like, what version could we do of the band and what band name? And it was like, it's just being stupid. I think I came up, we were going to be Agnes Moorehead because that's what the dude from Luxury Teeth was calling us. At the end of the night, he's like, the only fucking Moorhead I know is Agnes Moorehead, which I don't know who's fucking showing more age there. Me for knowing the reference or him for making the fucking reference.
So it's basically like if you started a version of the band, even though you're an actual member of the band, like what would you call it?
Yes, that's exactly it.
That's hilarious.
It was like, what would we be? A little less Moorhead? It was like this whole discussion.
That's hilarious.
Oh shit.
But yeah, anyway, back to that Death show though. So
Yeah.
we went to see them and they did 2 nights in a row. here in San Diego. So
Damn.
So the first night was them playing the very first Death record in its entirety, like front to back. And they played a couple other older songs, but that was mostly what that night was for. And we had only had tickets for that first night. And I didn't even know that. I knew they were playing 2 nights, but I didn't realize that they were doing like specific songs and stuff each night.
Right.
So when we got there, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, they're playing the first record in its entirety. Like, I didn't even know they were going to do that. Well, anyway, this dude who they got to sing for them and play guitar, and let's back up a little bit. If you're not familiar with Death, they're one of the most progressive death metal kind of thrash bands that's ever existed. I mean, that's honestly not even debatable. I mean, they're pretty much the lords of that type of music. And to sing like him, to sing like Chuck is quite an undertaking anyway, but then to also be able to play his guitar parts and sound like him, that's a monumental feat that honestly, it blew me away how good they fucking sounded. You could close your eyes and it sounded like you were at a Death show. As much as that dude in Journey sounds like Steve Perry,
right?
This dude they got singing for this Death to All band, he sounds fucking exactly like Chuck from Death. It's crazy. And to be able to play those parts and sing them and everything. So anyway, the first night they play that first record, and me and my buddy were like, dude, that was so fucking sick. Like, honestly, we were so blown away by how proficient it sounded. We actually bought tickets to go the next night because we wanted to see like what they were going to do the second night. So they played more of the mid to late 90s era stuff the second night. Right. And the second night was even cooler than the first night. I mean, it was anyone who's listening to this who's a Death fan and you never got a chance to see Death, or you did see Death and would like to see the closest thing you're ever going to see to Death again, please, please, please go see them, because it was fucking incredible. It was that was one of the best metal shows I've been to in years.
Wow.
Yeah, honestly, it was just incredible. I will 100% go see them again if they come back around.
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was cool.
Am I wrong in saying that he started out by himself?
I think that's correct. Yeah, I think he's
was
just
that part of the lore,
like bedroom dude with like a drum machine.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
and then it just kind of went from there. Yeah, dude, the documentary was phenomenal, and I'm stoked that you got to see them fucking knock that out.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, like, I saw the original Death back in like 98 or 99, and that was fucking really cool. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, you know, he's gone and this is the best they can do, but man, they're really doing a good job at like keeping the legacy alive, and yeah, just giving fans something to hear live again that's just very, very genuine and believable. And the dude who sings and plays guitar, he's like doesn't really talk much. Like the other dudes in the band kind of do the talking like in between songs and shit. So it was just almost like, I'm just here to fill this role, but I'm not trying to be that him guy. or just like, I'm just here to do this, to play these parts and do it as justice as best as I can. But yeah, that guy fucking nails it. Even fucking like looks like him. It's fucking weird, dude. It's fucking weird. Like, there's honestly not a band out that I can think of who's doing like a tribute show or whatever you want to call that is as accurate as what that was, hands down.
Oh, that's amazing then. Well, good for fucking you for doing that and then being able to go to both nights. That's
Yeah, I
fucking
think
amazing.
the first night, I think it was a Wednesday or a Thursday or something, and we were we were leaving, and we were both just like, "What the fuck? Like that was so awesome! Like I can't believe just how good they sounded." And then we were in the car driving home, and I was like, "Dude, we have to go to tomorrow night." I was like, "I know we weren't planning on it." I was like, "But if you don't have anything going on, we should go again." He's like, "Dude," he's like, "I think you're right." He's like, "I think we need to go." So he's like, "Let's sleep on it, and then we'll text in the morning." And I hit him up at like 10 o'clock, and I was like, "Dude, I'm still thinking we need to go to that." And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I already bought my ticket."
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm like,
He's
"Yeah."
already one step ahead of you.
And I was like, "All right, cool. I'm gonna get my ticket then too." So yeah. Anyway, go see Death to All if you get that chance. It's a really good show.
So I did see something. Well, no, it's sad is a strong word, but Slapshot is retiring next year,
Oh
as
yeah,
well. I guess as what was it? Sepultura is on their farewell tour as well. I saw
Exploited
that.
too.
Exploited.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was actually sad about the Slapshot thing, just because they've been pretty solid in it. They've been it hasn't been a reunion fucking run for them. Like they've just been playing and fucking playing and playing and playing.
Yeah.
So that's what I think it's kind of as everybody's like whittling their way out to come back out and start playing again. Like they're like, "Fuck you guys, we're done."
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen them. I don't recall ever seeing them unless it was at some kind of fest or something. I don't
Fest.
remember.
See, I don't think they played a lot. Well, I know they haven't played a lot in Maryland. I would assume they played in DC a lot. But like when we saw them a couple years ago, like they were like this is the first time we were in Maryland in I think it was like 15 years.
Damn.
So, but then of course I think they're playing next weekend. Maybe it's this weekend, or maybe I already fucking missed it. You know how I am with shows.
Yeah.
Well, Joe Wood is fucking Wednesday night, or Thursday night.
Oh, cool.
So that's still in my plan to go, even if I have to make Blythe go with me. We're going.
Yeah, you should definitely go to that because he was really good when I saw him.
Yeah, I'm just like, there's not going to be anybody there. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe old TSOL. I guess that's our fucking wheelhouse, dude. So maybe it is.
Yeah, there will be some people there. Like when I saw him, he played at the Casbah out here, and there was like 50 to 75 people there.
That's good. Yeah, I don't think where he's playing it's huge, so maybe it won't make a big difference anyway.
Yeah. I'm actually going to a show I'm going to a show Saturday and Sunday. The big Green Day show is here tomorrow night with Smashing Pumpkins, but I am not going to that.
If anybody could see my face, I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Well, I've
But
seen
go ahead.
Green Day, but I've never seen Smashing Pumpkins, and I did want to see them, but
I believe
I didn't even know
in a
about
weird
this.
way.
Didn't even know about that show. But anyway, a friend of mine bought tickets for this show tomorrow night, and he ended up not being able to go. So he hit me up. He's like, "Hey, I have some tickets to a show. If you want them, I'll just give them to you." And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "What is it?" And he sent me the tickets, and I was like, "Huh." I was like, "Well, this is an interesting band name." And I didn't even check them out. So
Are you
I'm
not going to at all?
No, we're going to go to the show, but I didn't look up what they sounded like
Oh no!
because I want to just be surprised. But they're called LSD, and the Search for God is the name of the band.
Oh my god!
And hold on, I got to see if I still have this up in my phone.
LSD in the Search for God.
Yeah. So anyway, I was like, well, that has the potential to maybe be very cool or really terrible. But I was like, fuck it. It's free tickets. I like going to the Casbah to see bands. I'll fucking cruise down there, check that out. And then Sunday, there's actually a big music festival that's happening here at Mission Bay Park, and it actually starts tonight. And there's bunch of bands tomorrow, and then we're going Sunday. But Sunday's headliner is Cypress Hill, baby.
Yeah.
Getting to see Cypress Hill again, which is fucking awesome.
This is so funny.
Yeah. So I'm pretty hyped on that. So yeah, big weekend of shows coming up.
Yeah, we're going to Gettysburg. There's ghosty stuff, a ghost convention type thing. So we're going to go see our favorite ghost hunter peoples
Cool.
tomorrow. And then Sunday we actually have a fucking, like, somebody's house we're doing. So that'll be crazy as shit because we did a recorder in the, while the guy that lives up the street was doing his historical review with the client, quote unquote. We got this one and voice in the fucking recording, and it was awesome. Somebody's like looking at one of the, like their house is one of those houses that have the big Scooby-Doo portraits everywhere. Like the
shit.
fucking house has all these oil paintings, and they're all
Jeez.
portraits of people.
So it's already
And-
creepy.
Yeah, and somebody goes, well, she looked really stern, and I'm not fucking kidding you. I'll send it to you. There's a spot, and you can hear it was like, no, I'm not. Like,
What? Really?
yeah, it came through on the recorder. I was like, oh my God.
Huh.
So it's pretty fucking awesome. So I'm stoked to go there on Sunday.
Damn. All right. I can't wait. It sounds like the next podcast we'll both have lots of updates to give.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm stoked to see Ghost Bros. Do you go to any conventions and shit like that? Like, it was weird. Like, we did the Paracon, and like the old Ghost Hunter crew, like, they charged you fucking money to get your picture taken with them. And I kind of expected that because of the K-pop adventure we had.
Oh, right.
But like, it was only them. Everybody else to get a picture with, dude, they just fucking, you just stood in line and got your picture with them. And they were the coolest fucking people in the world. And I'm like, wait, dude, we just spent how much? Well, but it was the OG people, so I'm not,
Yeah.
I'm not busting balls. They fucking deserve it. But I was just like, like, conventions and shit, have you ever done that? Because when we got the pictures signed of the guy who voices Mace Windu, like, that was a charge. And I was like, really? Like, I didn't realize that was part of the game. And yes, I'm a cheap bitch, but
I've been to Comic-Con a bunch, and there's definitely lots of people that was at Comic-Con charging for autographs and stuff, but a lot of those people were, like actual legitimate celebrities though. So that kind of made sense. And I went to this horror convention with Jane years ago that Linda Blair was at, and I didn't get any pictures and this was like before cell phones and stuff. So like you had to like bring a camera or whatever. And like, I think, I can't remember for sure, but there was definitely people there that were also kind of famous people, not just Linda Blair. And most of those people I think were charging for pictures and autographs and stuff. But I've definitely been to some stuff where there's people not charging either. So I think it just kind of depends on the status of the person. I mean, there's probably a function of it there where the person actually needs the money maybe. So they are like utilizing their status to make a couple extra bucks. But I think maybe part of that also is that there's people who are so fucking famous that are at those things. If they don't charge, it would be impossible to like manage the lines.
you know what? And that's a really smart point that I like. It's a counterpoint that I would never have thought of. It's like, it's a good way to crowd control.
Yeah, because like, dude, could you imagine like Comic-Con, for example, if like Mark Hamill was there? It's like, dude, you would be waiting in the fucking line for like the whole weekend to even try to get up to him. So that's, it's really they're going to whittle it down to the people who like really want the fucking autograph. And the only way to do that is by charging a certain amount of money.
Oh, are you doing the Buzz Melvin? Buzz. Yeah, Buzz Melvin. Where it's like, if you think it's too expensive, then it's not for you.
Yeah.
And you should fuck off. So, yeah, I'm stoked. It sounds like we both got cool weekends. I'm excited. Next week, if I can pull it off, I'm going to make 2 shows. Because it'll be the Joe Wood. And I think I'm going up. I want to go up and see the Constituents CD release show. Like, I think that would be badass too.
Oh yeah, you should definitely go to that.
Yeah, I think that's actually honestly, I think it's higher on my list than Joe Wood. Like, yeah. I'm like, if I'm in a pinch of things, like one gets cut, that might be the one that gets cut because I want to see, just because they're there, they're awesome and they support us.
Yeah,
is really where it's at.
You can handle 2 shows in 1 week. Come on.
Holy God, I know.
Come on.
We'll see.
Yeah, you honestly, you won't be bummed if you go to Joe Wood. You'll like it.
Yeah, I'm amped, and I keep seeing the fucking flyer pop up now on the socials. So I'm like, yes.
Which, by the way, I have been rocking that Constituent CD. I have had it in my car ever since I got back from playing those shows, and I finally took it out about a week ago, but I had it in there for a solid 2 weeks, just like listening to it every time I was in my car. And dude, they're fucking good, man. That recording is actually really good. And those songs, like, honestly, if someone just gave you that CD and you listened to it and then you went to see them, they're a totally different band live than what the CD makes them out to be, because they sound like a legitimate death metal band, but they're more like hardcore when you see them live, I feel like.
Yeah, I think you're right. I rocked it out. I got that. I had to take it to work because I didn't have a fucking CD player anywhere.
Oh, really?
So I had to go listen to it at work. It's like, what the fuck? I bought it. I was like, I was gonna have that fucking CD, and I was pissed they sold out of them Friday night, but they had them Saturday night. And then I came to the realization, I'm like, they were to listen to a fucking CD.
Oh, as soon as I saw they had CDs, that's funny. That's something when I go to a show and a band still has CDs, I get excited because I'm like, fuck yeah, like something new for the car. Because I get like really lazy about switching my CDs out in the car.
Right.
So a lot of times the same shit just stays in there forever. So if I get a new CD that I can just walk out from a show and just dump it right in my little side compartment on my door, I'm like, yeah, new CD, motherfucker.
That's awesome.
Oh, which, by the way, I'm still fucking pissed. I lost my fucking chlamydia shirt at the fucking Martinsburg show.
I can get you one. I know some people.
Yeah. I know, I was fucking bummed about that. Well, someone got a cool shirt that I fucking paid for, so there you go. Merry Christmas, motherfucker.
Oh my God, it's fucking sad.
One last thing before we get off here. I want to, if you're down, I want to get back into doing some Taster's Choices because I have a couple that I want you to check out.
I'm in. I'm totally in. Yeah.
Because I think it's your turn for me to give you something, I think.
Vice versa.
Oh, it is? Okay.
You
cool.
shit all over the inbred. I think it was the last one we did.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you gave me the
Yeah,
inbred.
I hope you feel good about that.
I do. I feel great about it because that record's fucking trash.
No, dude, you are not. You are not correct. You are not correct.
All right, well, cool. Well, you'll have to give me something because I have shit for you, so we'll have to keep it going.
Yeah, I'm in. We should have did the doggy style.
But we both know. I've heard that now, though.
I know, but it would have been easy to go in and both like re-listen to it. I haven't listened to the whole thing in a little while, though. I think once it started, I can run the whole thing in my head pretty much. And it's sneaky online to find it because they don't have it as side by side. It's like Doggy Style the early years or something like that.
Oh, okay.
But it's on because I was like, how is this not on fucking streaming services?
Yeah.
And it is. It's just not under side by side. But
Gotcha.
It's okay. Still love it. Yes, Taster's Choice. Bring it, sister. I still owe Fred one. He gave me one. He broke the rule because the fucking record's an hour and a half long. But besides
Jesus.
that, yeah, no fuck.
What
But
did
it's
he
actually
give you?
really good. It's is it Juicifer?
Juicifer?
Yeah.
I've heard of that band, but I don't know if I've ever heard them.
Yeah, he gave me, I forget which one. So I need to go re-listen to it, and we're going to go back and on one of the ones you can't make. I just need to know, line that shit up.
Yeah.
So I know when I have to re-listen to it.
That's a rough listen. Hour and a half. That shit
Yeah,
better
dude.
be fucking good.
Well, lucky for Fred, they kind of are chaotic and all over the place.
Okay.
So it makes for a good listen.
Right on.
So it was okay. It's one I'm not like, fuck, I can't listen to this again.
Well, maybe something for the future we could do. We could do like a tag team Taster's Choice where, for example, you would pick something that Fred and I both have to listen to, and then we all convene on the Pottycast, and Fred and I have to talk about it.
I love it.
Because that'd be like a cool, different perspective. Like maybe he would love it, and I'd be like, what the fuck was that shit you gave me?
Well, yeah, you've done that to me already, so.
I go into doing them with the best intentions of wanting to give a positive review, but I have to be honest with how something strikes me.
Dude, I hear you. And the new music that comes out so fucking shitty. Most of it. Like I've been diving on the Apple new releases, and it's just like, nope, can't do that.
Yeah.
And it's
There's
based
some cool
off
shit out there, but you gotta like find it.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's based off my playlist, is the shit that gets populated, but it's just, even some of the tried and true, like some of my, what do you want to say, independent pop girls, like the last Kate Nash album was not very good, very sad. Well, it was good, it's just, it wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't poppy enough. Very
Gotcha.
music. It just wasn't poppy. It wasn't as catchy. She's down on the world right now. I'm okay with that, but it affects the music.
I'm going to put in a request. As much as you don't want to do it, I'm imploring you to go to both of those shows next week because I want to hear about both of those shows. So
All
you
right.
have to go.
All right.
Because I want to hear, I want a show review of the Constituent CD release show, and I want you to see Joe Wood so you can report back.
I'll see. Oh, I was going to say I can see if Fred will go with me to the Constituent show. He might actually go he might go.
Because I bet you that's going to be fucking insane.
Yeah, I think it's going to be nuts. And I think they put on a hell of a show as it is, but to have them headline and it's for their CD, like I think it could be phenomenal.
Yeah, that's one to not miss. Cool.
All right, well, groovy. Oh, hey, you guys, go listen to Bleak Shore record. It's finally out, at least on Bandcamp. Check it out. Fred's rocking it out. Support your fellow podcaster. So Bleak Shore, Bandcamp. It's going on Spotify at some point. I don't know when. All right, that's the end of my promotion.
Cool.
For Caveman Rock, I believe is Maryland Doom Caveman Rock.
Is that what they are? They're caveman
Yeah,
doom?
I think that's what it is. Yeah, something like that. Yes.
Troglodyte doom?
How awesome is that? Oh, shit. All right, fuck it. On that note,
Yep.
I'm
we'll,
hitting the button.
Check you guys next time. This podcast was brought to you by Potty Mouth
My
Records.
fat finger
Contact
hit my
us
butt.
at pottymouthrecords@gmail.com
It's just
and
one
find
like
us
that.
on the web at pottymouthrecords.rocks. That's .rocks.
That was way better than I expected. That was awesome.
That is awesome.